Good, good. A long, productive discussion. Well, that just about wraps it up.
Not quite. There's the new Disability Discrimination Act.
I think it's an excellent idea.
Yeah, me too.
Commendable.
About time, that's what I say.
Absolutely, right.
Then we support it. Good, good.
No, you see, the Act's already come into effect. We have to decide what we're going to do about it.
Do.
What does that mean?
Do.
Well, we do whatever the law requires us to do. Hearing aids, ramps, I don't know. Just keep the costs down. Now, don't get me wrong. My cousin's disabled. I know what it's like for them. But it's crazy to spend more than we have to. I mean, do we even have any disabled people working here, huh? Well, I'm not saying we don't do our bit. Just don't go overboard, that's all.
Those ramps make damn good PR.
He's got a point. Robert, why don't you check out what the competition's doing? I don't want us losing out in the image stakes. Make some recommendations. We'll meet up day after tomorrow. Discuss it. Talk some more.
I got the interview. Tomorrow.
So you're leaving us?
Time for a change. I suppose I'm looking for a change. To broaden my horizons. To see what it's like from a different experience. I want this job, I want this job. To see what it's like from a different point of view. You can do it. Where's your mum when you need her? To see what it's like from a different point of view. Hi, I'm Robert Kesey. I'm here for the...
For the interview?
Yeah, sorry I'm late. I couldn't find...
I'm sure that's okay.
Taxi. Sorry, I can't
Oh,
read.
they shouldn't be long.
No, but I just can't...
You're welcome.
Come in.
What's going on? He's able-bodied.
How good of you to come. Why don't you take a seat? Now, take as much time as you need.
Say, I had a friend who had all his limbs once. It's great.
No, I didn't get it. I mean, it's as if they weren't even listening to me. I don't know. Listen, I've got to go. I'll tell you about it later, okay? Yeah, 8 o'clock. I'm wearing a light grey suit, purple shirt, burgundy tie. Okay, then. Bye.
Sorry, mate. Wheelchairs only.
What?
Well, I don't make the rules.
And joining us now, David Lepofsky. He is the chair of the Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act Alliance. And we welcome you back to TVO, Dave. It's good to see you again.
Thank you very much.
Let's just start with some basic background before we get into the voting issues. And that is, we're told there are 1 million people in this province with a disability. Disability defined as what?
It's actually over 1.5 million, and that's a person with a significant physical or mental or sensory disability. I'm blind, I have a sensory disability. There are people who have learning disabilities. People who either can't walk at all, use a wheelchair, may use a scooter, may use a walker, may not be able to go significant distances, but where their physical or mental or sensory condition limits some of their activities if the environment isn't built accessibly.
Okay. A couple of Ontario governments in the past decade have tried to pass laws dealing with people who have disabilities, one in 2001, another attempt in 2005. Can you tell us what the 2005 Act attempted to do that the previous Act didn't cover?
Well, the first thing it does is it sets an end date by which Ontario must become fully accessible for people with disabilities. The goods, services, and employment opportunities everybody else enjoys have to be accessible to us. That's 2025. For some, that may seem a long way off, but it was felt that we needed an end date, and I know of no other jurisdiction in Canada or elsewhere that set an end date. The second thing it did is it applied this to the private as well as the public sector. It covers everybody. And the third thing it does is it requires the government to develop and then implement and enforce accessibility standards that explains to people what needs to be done to become accessible and by when. And to develop it, it's not just something that comes from Queen's Park. These are supposed to be developed in close consultation with experts in how to run a business, namely the business community, and experts in disabilities, namely
and the final background question here. If, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is things are pathetic, and 10 is it's a paradise in Ontario if you happen to be disabled, where are we right now, roughly?
Well, I think we're way behind the United States. People who have a disability, and there's a lot of them, who are thinking of somewhere to go for a holiday, would much rather go to the States where they can get easier access to hotels, restaurants, public transportation, tourist sites, and stuff like that, rather as compared to Canada and as compared to Ontario. Now, Ontario is making progress since 2005, but a lot of sleeves have been rolled up to work on this, but we think we need to be moving quicker.
We closer to 10 or closer to 1?
I'm not sure you could put a simple number on it at this point because it's a work in progress. I think that there are countries that are way ahead of us and that there are countries that are way behind us. I think that once we get Charles Beer's report, and if he recommends speeding things up, we could get ourselves close to a 10 if the government puts itself on schedule, back on schedule, and does what needs to be done. Unfortunately, we're not there.
In Linares, Spain, the city centre has been completely rethought for people with reduced mobility, which includes a large group of people with minor disabilities. This includes low curbs and access ramps for shops, some of which don't have doors, which makes things easier for everyone. Here, all buses are accessible for people in wheelchairs.
Puedo ir a muchos sitios que antes no me era posible. Necesitaba ayuda,
We have in the European Union already a legislation which bans the discrimination of disabled people in employment. And we think we should go further and extend that discrimination ban to the whole of
society. We're recognizing that persons with disabilities live in our community. The population is significant, and we all want to have fully participating lives, fully engaging in our entire community. It's about equal access, it's about dignity, it's about independence for everyone.
Kind of thing you notice when you're in a wheelchair and that you don't otherwise notice.
Now there's always one seat here that flips up. Yeah. Now the challenge of getting on, coming over here, flipping this seat up, and actually sitting there is not going to happen. Right? It's too difficult. What I typically do is come in. Unfortunately, I have to block a bit of traffic because this is the safest spot for me to be in. So you show up to a stop, and all of a sudden, it's out of service.
What's plan B?
So what do?
Go above ground and call Wheel-Trans?
Yeah, or you don't. Wheel-Trans is not a same-day service.
Yeah,
you
can't do that same day.
Right? So you basically have to go outside and wheel to another accessible stop, which wouldn't be so bad if they were all accessible. Right? Because sometimes you're talking.
Yeah, sometimes you're
talking kilometers to get to the next stop. Yeah. Like if you look at where we were, the next accessible stop is Jingle. So can you imagine the hike from Kipling to James?
Checks and balances need to be otherwise move on.
Dynamic performance Good. Right. This Disability Act. Robert, let's talk about your findings.
You know what? Let's not talk about it.